Hey everybody, welcome back to Going for Two with Jack Taylor. My name is Jack Taylor.
My name's Hunter too.
If you're a first-time guest with us and you've seen us on the Mississippi State Instagram, welcome.
Sorry.
This is how you have to find us midway through a mediocre baseball season. But thank you for joining. And if you're a recurring guest, then thank you also for joining. We really appreciate all of our fans, no matter when you started listening to us. It's been a week, Hunter.
It really has.
Yeah, 4-0 week in baseball. Obviously, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about our games coming up. But we were finally featured on the Mississippi State official Instagram, our feature about our podcast and how it came to be, and our childhood best friends.
Somehow they made that story kind of okay.
Yeah.
Because, we had our interview, and we left,
what is he going to do?
That guy...
What questions? There wasn't really a story. It was just
like little questions.
Yeah. So, but big things happen. I mean, we gained a few followers from it. Obviously, I mean, it seemed to have a lot of engagement, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, and thank you all for sharing that. It was really cool to see all of our all that being shared on all y'all's stories. So, thank you guys for that. It was a really cool surprise. We did that last October, and it's finally being posted. So
yeah,
that was a really cool surprise here on spring break, for me at least. Hunter, how was spring break for you? Real world don't have no spring break.
Real world,
I'll find that out sometime.
Does not have spring break.
Yeah. But before we get started, I do want to start out like we always do with some movie critiques, and this one's a short one. I've just been wondering. So in the Cars universe, there's a lot of buildings, right? There's cities.
Mm-hmm.
How do they build those? They ain't got hands.
Forklifts.
Forklift just build building?
Forklift build building.
I struggle to believe that. But I think it ties into the Pixar universe where, humans used to live there and built all this stuff, and then that kind of faded out, and now machines just run everything. So,
WALL-E.
I think there is an explanation for it, but just taking it as a single movie without the Pixar universe, how they build those?
Is there, in the Cars universe, is there a Cars Jesus? What kind of car brand would it be? Okay, on to our...
Also, Doc won a bunch of Piston Cups and just doesn't have them out. I'd put those things on display.
Yeah,
I think that was kind of the whole point of the movie. They don't really matter, but, you still want them.
You know what matters?
Don't just put tools in them.
You know what matters? Community.
Mm-hmm. The whole point of that movie was that small town USA is being forgotten, and it needs to be, rejuvenated. And Hometown on HGTV really shows that.
Okay, with that being said, our main topics for today, we're gonna... As you can tell, we're having a pretty good time. Yeah. We're back in person.
Yeah,
it's a different experience. We've just been remote so long that it's weird being back together. We're gonna cover the Princeton game, then the midweek, and then we're gonna review the Georgia Bulldogs, the preview series coming up. Mm-hmm. Start of SEC play. Yeah. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
There are a few things that we didn't talk about, but. I'm sure we'll add them in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then, of course, our favorite topic of all time. I think every week I say something about it being our favorite topic, and it's not even planned.
Yeah. It's honestly just my favorite thing, because it's the only thing not scripted. We just kind of...
It's the only thing that's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only thing we don't have to research. We just answer stuff.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't even answer.
Usually we've already answered it. So,
So we just say, did you listen to the episode yet?
I should just listen.
Yeah.
All right.
But, yeah, that's what we got.
We also do have some exciting news. So for the first time ever, we have a sponsor for this podcast. Yeah, so before we get started, I do want to talk about that. This is brought to you by SeatGeek. We do want to give a huge shout out to them for sponsoring us for the first time. So SeatGeek is obviously just an app that takes out the confusion of buying tickets to concerts, sporting events of any kind. You can use our promo code TEW2. Use that promo code for $20 off your first purchase on the app. So,
yeah. Go see a concert.
Yeah.
It's a little sporting event, maybe.
Maybe
see the Dawgs.
Maybe the Dawgs in Athens this weekend.
I don't know if Mississippi State tickets are on SeatGeek, but I'm sure they are.
Surely.
SeatGeek has everything.
They have everything, and we really do appreciate them sponsoring. So go hit up SeatGeek, $20 off your first purchase when you use our promo code TEW2.
So glad they made it TEW.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's going to get us into the episode. So starts off with the Princeton series, and we do have to mention that Landon Sims and Stone Simmons are out for the year. It happened in the Tulane series. Both of them torn UCLs, and they've already had Tommy John surgery at this moment. So really sad news. I mean, we knew it was coming, but it was still really sad to see that finally become official. So we kind of assumed that when we saw neither of them in the Princeton series. But with that, we got a new look at our starting rotation that we hadn't seen before, and then a new look at our bullpen. So this weekend we saw a rotation of Preston Smith,
Preston Johnson. In person's different, y'all.
Yeah. We got so used to that virtual life. So
4 episodes.
Preston Johnson, then Parker Stinnett, and then Cade Smith. There we go. Got the other names right.
You did good right there.
Yeah. So it looked like a pretty good rotation, but also Princeton looked like, probably not a very good team.
They still have not won a game since
0-11. So, they're pretty bad. But we got the sweep. Finally, we got a sweep, and we desperately needed that. And another thing we desperately needed was production out of Kellum Clark. What did you see from him this weekend?
Kellum is so good. We talked about it, and just throughout the weekend, and he has the highest ceiling on the team.
Yeah, easily. I mean, he can be a 20 home run guy.
He could be a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah, and then he starts off the season 0 for 17, and then he gets the green light on a 3-0 count down there in Tulane, and then suddenly he's just not been missing the barrel. And so I mean, it's really, really fun to watch him. He's already back up at 280 hitting, starting out at 0 for 17. It's really almost impossible to get back up to the 280 in a span of 2 weeks, but he's done it, and he really has just popped off these last couple series. But Kellum goes, he has 9 RBI on the weekend, 7 of those in game 1. He has 3 home runs. I think he had 2 3-run bombs in the first game, and then 1 in game 3. He had 3 doubles on the weekend. So I think it's safe to say that he's back and just in time for SEC play.
Never been more glad for Kellum to be back.
For real.
To be back. Baby boy Kellum.
He's still a white guy.
He is still a white guy.
Well then.
I love being back live.
It's going to be tough to follow that one. The only other thing I have from this series, though, we did play a doubleheader on Sunday, 1 9-inning game, and then followed it up with a 7-inning game. I think the only reason that we saw Cade in game 3 still instead of Parker filling in the Sunday role was because game 2 was a 7-inning game, and I think we kind of trusted Cade to have a 7-inning performance over Parker, which makes sense. But both of them, I mean, Parker had come out after 5 innings, I believe. He had 12 strikeouts. Just unbelievable game by him. And I hope that
pitcher of the week.
Yeah.
SEC co-pitcher of the week.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of national awards.
Yeah. And then Cade, I'm pretty sure would have gone a full 7 innings. But he goes out after 6 because we have a 9-1 lead or 9-0 lead. I think they scored 1 in the 9th. But the bullpen still seems pretty shaky. Jackson Fristow, who was a starter at the beginning of the year, is now just a bullpen arm that I'm not sure any of us should trust.
Yeah, below Brandon Smith, in the trust level.
Yeah, Brandon Smith seems to be the name that we keep going to out of the pen. Him and Cam Tuller are common names. Mikey Tepper, I believe, is the guy who we're just trying to make the closer, but
by force.
Yeah, but other than game 2 against Princeton, we haven't really had many opportunities for saves. I mean, we just blow out games or lose them. So there's not really many save opportunities. Drew Talley is another name that we keep seeing, and not really sure what his role is going to be. Maybe a 7th inning guy.
I'm not sure if anyone will be able to solidify a role.
Yeah.
Like, I know eventually it's going to work out and everyone will have it, but right now it doesn't look like it at all.
I mean, coming into SEC play, you're going to have to win close games, and so at some point or another, you're either going to solidify a bullpen or you're going to realize that you don't have one.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we do the former and can just solidify roles for these guys like we have in years past. But right now it's just like, well, this guy's not doing well. Let's bring in the next guy. And then, he seems to struggle too. So
yeah,
outside of starting pitching, it's looking pretty scary. But again, we've had flashes here and there from Brandon Smith, from Drew Talley, from Mikey Tepper, from all these guys. Hopefully, we can just start getting some consistency out of them.
And on the weekend, how did your player of the week do?
Well, my player of the week, Kellum Clark, did really, really well. We've already talked about his stats. What about yours?
I threw as many pitches as him.
Hey, I'm sure he did a real good job of cheering in the dugout.
See, I tried my hardest to be serious and have like kind of an off the wall one.
And then I bet you didn't expect Parker Stinnett to get 2 full length starts in 1 week.
You know who pitched more than my player of the week? Lane Forsythe.
And that's going to bring us to the Binghamton game. And that should tell you all that you need to know is that Lane Forsythe got an inning.
Pretty good inning. I've seen worse.
How did his first batter do?
I'm sure he didn't go yard.
I'd be willing to bet that he did. I see that. Like my notifications went from, because I wasn't watching this game.
Yeah,
my notifications went from, you'll never guess who's pitching, and I was like, Landon Sims. Couldn't have been further from the truth.
Logan Tanner.
I would have believed that. Lane Forsythe.
Didn't know he pitched.
Not really on my top.
Didn't know he pitched.
So Lane Forsythe comes in, first batter that he faces goes yard, and then we start seeing like stuff from Lane. Like he's throwing stuff with movement. He's throwing like low 90s. And I'm like,
that's what he's been doing from short.
Yeah.
Throwing sliders at Hancock.
So that was a surprise. The Binghamton game in general, we won't talk too much about it. It was a lot closer than it should have been.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but if you look at the final score.
Yeah. We won the game 13-5.
I mean, the 2 innings I watched.
We did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But this game, it kind of got... Binghamton got runs with a bases loaded, pop up to center field with 2 outs. Guys are running on contact. Jess Davis loses it in the lights or the sky, whatever. And
it's probably the sun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. On a rainy day.
Time change.
On a rainy night. Yeah, there you go. So he drops a fly ball. All 3 runs score, and then I think it's 5-4 at that point or something like that. They're up, and then we tie the game at 5-5. And in the 8th inning, we use a huge 8th inning to blow the game open to win 13-5. We had home runs in that inning by Hunter Hines, R.J. Yeager. Yes, R.J. Yeager finally had a home run, and then Tanner Leggett I think went back to back with Yeager. But yeah, in this game, 2 home runs by R.J. Yeager. His first 2.
He's arrived.
So he's already doing better than Scotty DeBrule. Already a better second baseman, right?
The one thing that this team needs is bat flips after a base on balls. Doesn't matter the situation.
Scotty's the king of them. As soon as we moved him out of the leadoff role, which he was not made for.
They moved him like 5th or something. Yeah. Was it 4th?
5th or 6th. I'm like, I don't know. Nope, not 4th.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Scotty DeBrule would be the best cleanup batter of all time.
Just walk in runs. Yep. So, you basically have 2 cleanup hitters if you put him at 4th and someone else at 5th, right?
Just because it's bases loaded and then it's bases loaded again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely not better than Scotty DeBrule, at least not in our hearts yet.
I love Scotty.
But I do like the look of R.J. Yeager. I think he really could. I mean,
his swing's cool.
Yeah, second baseman with power is always something that I like. But we'll see if he can continue that success once SEC play starts. Because that's what we were expecting when we got a big-time second baseman from Mercer. Another thing we proved, and I know that his stats are going to be kind of elevated by Jess Davis dropping a fly ball, but Jack Walker has had some terrible, terrible outings for us. He did have a great game against Grambling. I mean, he pitched like 6 innings or something like that. But
Grambling's pitcher was better.
Yeah, he was really good. He was pretty awesome. Topped out at 78. So
I think I top out at 78.
You think you could?
No.
I might get hit 75.
71.
I like it. At least we're being
65.
Reasonable.
May hit 65.
But yeah, Jack Walker. Other than that, where did he have that bad game against? Was that Southern Miss or Fristow pitched?
Fristow. We played him twice, so it's very possible that.
Oh, it was the...
No, we played them one.
Give up a Tulane. You gave up a grand slam against Tulane in that game, too. Which, looking back, I think if we either sweep Northern Kentucky or if we win 2 out of 3 against Long Beach, if either of those go our way, and then we don't lose the second game to Tulane, that we were up 10-2 or whatever, this season really does look a lot different. I mean,
if you add 3 wins and take away 3 losses, it's a pretty good season we have on.
That would just be two losses. So we would be right now we're 11-7. Going into SEC play 13-5 is really not that bad. The biggest stain on our entire schedule to me is the series loss to Tulane because we were winning so much in that game.
Yeah,
the second game.
But luckily, it's college baseball. No one looks at that.
Yeah, honestly,
it'll just be a series loss. It won't be they almost had it.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But yeah, I really do think. I mean, obviously those are tough to swallow. But I mean, moving forward, I really don't think we're as bad as our record is saying. Like 7 losses is bad, and we've played some rough baseball. But offensively, we seem to be coming around. And I mean, I think me and you were talking earlier. Like this year, we're not relying on 2 hitters, Rowdy and TA, like we were.
It was frustrating last year sometimes.
Yeah, it was bad, especially when Rowdy was struggling. I mean, Tanner never struggled, but I mean, Rowdy would struggle, and it was like our whole team. It was just so frustrating, 3 up, 3 downs, and now
4 pitch at bat, 4 pitch innings. Yeah, we're like so often.
Yeah, and now it's like everybody on our team has home run power, and I mean, down to the second baseman. I mean, and shortstop. I mean, obviously Lane Forsythe.
No, it's our pitcher.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, pitchers aren't supposed to have power, right? But our entire outfield is capable of hitting 15 home runs, and wait, Hunter Hines is not an outfielder. Our DH.
Von Sieber could.
He could. He's not gonna. But yeah, I really do like the way that we're kind of improving here right as SEC play starts. Hopefully it sticks around because we seem to be clicking offensively. Like it's contagious with us. It's like outs are contagious, but so are home runs, it seems like. So hopefully we'll just get more home runs than outs.
Hopefully we're not social distancing.
I don't think we're going to get more home runs than outs, come to think of it. We're not going to hit 27 home runs in a single game. But this team could, right?
I don't think they could. That's a challenge.
Let's do it. Let's be the first team to hit 27 home runs in a game. I don't know. College baseball's been going on for a long time. Surely some team's done it.
And like teams like Princeton are out there that haven't won since 2019.
Yeah.
Like, just get a hold of them.
Well, enough of this little commentary here. All right, so moving on to our first SEC series of the year. We're playing the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens.
National championship.
Yeah.
Showdown.
That's right.
The winner gets both.
I'm not sure I would want to put that on the line.
Really?
Honestly, not sure.
Jack, you could have a football national championship.
I just talked up this team like we could beat anybody. And I'm not even putting them
against a mid-level.
Against like a 7th or 8th best team in the SEC. I think I'll just keep ours. And
you wouldn't? Okay.
I think I'll just keep our one natty because I'm not sure we'll ever get another one.
Someone made a deal with the devil. Like,
yeah. It's
one of those hypotheticals.
Yeah. If you're listening right now, this is our one time that we're actually going to talk about basketball. We lost in the NIT. So, R.I.P. Ben Howland. He's not dead.
Think Molinar comes back?
Probably.
That'd be
kind of nice.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy that.
I think Vic Schaefer should be our men's coach.
Let's hire Blair
to be the men's coach.
Blair for AD.
She seems unqualified. But then again, John Cohen probably is too. Are we allowed to say that? All right. So, Georgia, what do you have for me on the Georgia series?
Okay. They're 14-3 on the year. As you said, that's not bad going into SEC play. Yeah. They have a series loss to Georgia Tech and a series split with Georgia Southern. Those are by far the most quality teams that they've played. I think Georgia Tech's actually like pretty good. I'm not sure about Georgia Southern, but yeah. They haven't played in many close games. I think they had like 3 on their season so far, and I think they won all of them but one. But Our pitching rotation, I think we're going to go Preston, Cade, and then Parker.
Yeah. So we're moving Cade up to the Saturday spot.
I think so.
Okay. I like that. I mean, that's what I expected last week. We said that with a 9-inning game being followed by a 7-inning game, the matchup was right for Cade to take the 7-inning game. But I think, I don't know how the rest works, but I think Cade will be good enough to bump up to the Saturday spot.
I really liked last year when we had 27 pitchers on staff.
Yeah.
And we could actually go a pitcher per inning if we wanted to.
Yeah.
And we would be perfectly fine.
I kind of underestimated how valuable that was.
That was a good time.
Yeah, because that's all we did. That's all we did in midweeks.
We had Spencer Price just kicking around. Like,
I don't think he pitched at all after the
Tulane
series.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Hey, we're the true national champions because we won in the year where everybody just had an ample amount of
in the year of super teams.
Yeah. We were the superest.
I mean, Vanderbilt had Jack Leiter and Kumar.
Yeah.
Will he be better?
And we had to beat both of them to win a national championship. So,
and one of them was fully rested.
Asterisk. I actually don't know if I've ever said the word asterisk correctly. Is that how you say it? Or is it asterisk? Surely it's not what I just said. I think it might actually be spelled that way.
I'm going to go the rest of my time on this podcast without saying that word.
Just to avoid
the controversy of that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put an asterisk beside any podcast where you don't say the word asterisk.
Okay. Do you have anything on Georgia?
I know last year they were a big home run hitting team, and I really have not watched much Georgia this year. Probably one of the only SEC teams that I haven't watched a game of this year. But
tell me you've watched Missouri.
I actually did because
you tell me you watched Kentucky.
No.
You watched A&M.
Mm-hmm. I watched them play Penn.
Oh yeah, that one was wasn't that pretty good? Yeah,
Penn beat them. They were playing right before we played Northern Kentucky, I think. So, So Georgia last year, me and you watched them play against Vanderbilt, and they just tanked on Kumar, and just a super unexpected loss. They hit 7 home runs against him, inching their way towards a 27 home run game, which still is out there for Mississippi State to be the first to do. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there.
I'll buy everyone a quarter pounder with cheese if they hit a 27 home run game.
No free shout-outs.
No free shout-outs? I didn't tell you where the quarter pounder with cheese is from.
Surely they have that trademarked.
Dude, it's a measurement and
and a cheese. No, but other than that, I would assume they're still recruiting the same kind of guys, just big home run hitters. But
like Jordan Davis?
Yeah. He's going to be hitting bombs on their pro days on Saturday.
If Jordan Davis played baseball while he was at Georgia, could you imagine?
Like Ole Miss.
Dude, that dude is bigger.
A lot bigger.
Considerably bigger.
Yeah. But other than that, I know you have their starters, and who will those be this week?
I think Jonathan Cannon. I think he's a right-handed pitcher with a 2.39 ERA. Okay. Seems to be pretty good. Their Saturday starter, Liam Sullivan. He's a left-handed pitcher, so he's gonna be out there looking like the Cuban Missile. Mm-hmm. He has a 3.68 ERA.
I like it.
And I couldn't really find out who their Sunday starter was because the one that they threw last week was really bad. I don't think he got through 3 innings.
Okay, so it could be a revolving door there for them, especially early on this year.
I didn't want to look back because so much can change.
Yeah,
in 4 days.
And I mean, even on a team like last year where we had all the pitchers in the world, we still couldn't figure out a steady Saturday or Sunday guy. So I completely understand that. But looking at Georgia, I mean, who knows? I think this whole year, we should expect to have to win games, especially on Sundays in shootouts. And so finding a guy that can keep us in a game that we're going to have to score a lot of runs in is going to be important. But I think with a guy like Preston Johnson, he's a good pitcher, but I mean, I could easily see him getting hit early and coming out of a game. Cade Smith seems to be pretty consistent. I trust him to at least get us into the 5th inning of most games. But we should expect to see us have to win games in big shootout fashion. And so,
which, I mean, in preseason, that's what everyone expected the SEC to be.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be like the most offensive year.
Yeah, because all the pitchers that we saw last year are gone. And
and it's completely different from last year, at least right now.
Yeah.
Last year, it seemed like every team had 2 aces on it.
Yeah.
And
that's everybody. I mean, we had Christian McLeod, who, say what you want about him late in the year, but, I mean, he was like a 5-time SEC Pitcher of the Week and pitched really good.
Ole Miss, Doug Nikhazy was their Saturday starter.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Vanderbilt right there.
Mm-hmm.
LSU, when they had no pitching, they still had pretty good pitching.
Yeah. I mean,
stuff was crazy last year.
Yeah, everybody was good, and now it's just different. So playing home run ball and everything, we should expect to have to do that, and we have the team to do it. Mm-hmm. So it could scare you, but I think, I mean, if any team was going to have to rely on that to win games, why not us? Because, I mean, our outfield is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Cumbus,
we're the
Kellen
Yankees.
Clark, Von Siebert, if he's in there, Matt Corder could do it. Hunter Hines is probably the best hitter in the SEC right now. I mean, he's just smoking the baseball. And then
he's been 328.
Yeah, and then Kellen Clark, we've said all that we can say about him. He's heating up at the right moment.
Kellen's back.
Yeah, and then we're not seeing much production from or like home run production. We're seeing very consistent hitting from Luke Hancock and Cam James, but they're just, I mean, they're quietly going without a lot of home runs. I think both of them have 1 each, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, both of them have 1 each, and you know that number's going to go up. So we've got a lot to look forward to. I think this could be a great weekend for us, and I guess now, since we don't have a midweek to talk about,
what is there a midweek after? I didn't write it down. I'd like to see if there is one.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I can kind of
SEC play is back, so I was like, I really don't care.
Oh, we're playing Southern University next Tuesday.
I think they're actually pretty okay this year.
Yeah.
They won the SWAC last year, right?
Yeah, they went to the NCAA tournament. They went to the Texas Regional last year and went
Cupcake Regional.
Went 0-2.
Oh, never mind. They were really bad this year. Okay, so that's why we're not talking about them.
Okay, they lost to LSU 15-0 and 9-2. They lost to Missouri 19-8. Hey, they beat UTSA. There we go. Okay, yeah, they're really bad. So we're gonna play them next Tuesday. But before we get to Instagram questions, we are gonna give our series predictions, and I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Dawgs 2 out of 3.
Okay,
the Dawgs.
Which Dawgs?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me which Dawgs.
TBA.
Stop.
Okay, I'll take Mississippi State.
Okay, 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
All right, and with your player.
Yeah, you go first, and then I'll go.
Okay. I am gonna be an idiot right now. I'm gonna say we're going into Athens and we're sweeping.
It's a bold strategy.
By we, I mean George. I'm just kidding. I really do think we're gonna go in here and get a sweep. That pitching rotation from last week, I think it's gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Parker Stinnett, he had a really, really good outing against Texas Tech. He had 1 run given up, and it was unearned. I mean, he had a really good game against Princeton. He's getting a lot of strikeouts, a lot of swing and miss, and he just has just nasty stuff. I think he's the key to this weekend really, really being a big deal because we've seen Cade Smith, and I think he's consistent, like I said. We've seen Preston Johnson, and I think he can eat up innings. But Parker is kind of the hit and the miss, and this is his chance to really solidify that he could be a starter and that he's not a liability as a pitcher. Mm-hmm. So if he can go in there and just trust his stuff, I think it's key to give him a lead. Whether he's pitching on Saturday or Sunday, we just need to give him a lead because it seems like when he's able to just concentrate, slow down a little bit, and just trust his stuff, he's so good and he's unhittable. So I think he's the key. Obviously, we got to win the other 2 to get the sweep, but I mean, Parker winning this game will be good for us. Obviously, this weekend and moving forward, him having confidence and him having trust in coaches and the fan base and his teammates around him, it's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, I think he's going to be my player of the weekend.
Okay. Ready for mine?
Mm-hmm.
Give me Lane Forsythe. I think that there has to be a reason that he got that inning the other day.
Okay.
Going into SEC play, like, there's still midweeks.
Yeah.
Like, they could have thrown him just in the middle. I see if, like, one of the first 2 games is high scoring, you kind of burn your bullpen, like, just a little bit. I mean, it's a pretty short list. And then you get, I mean, who do you trust more, Lane or Jack Walker? I think it's Lane right now.
I mean, just because he hasn't killed you yet.
Yeah. I mean, because that's extremely off the wall pick, but there has to be a reason that they put him out there.
Baseball substitutions really confuse me, but I really think that it's like if he comes in like late in the game and doesn't do what you want, or he does, whether or not he does good or not, he can just go to shortstop and finish out as a defensive replacement, which I think is the best strategy anyway. Because I mean, I know Tanner Leggett is serviceable at shortstop and he's made some good plays, but I mean, Lane Forsythe's your best shortstop defensively. I mean, he made a great game to end the game against Princeton the other day in Game 2, and I mean, he's really good. And I know baseball substitutions are weird, but I think that works.
I think if I go my second week in a row picking someone that I expect to pitch and come up like and kind of like take a job, and then they don't pitch, I'm gonna be quite impressed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think just like last week, I think there's real logic behind that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see any other position players getting innings, and I know all of them pitched in high school.
Yeah.
The Lamonis's response to questions about that was just Lane wants to have a role in the team, and if it's not at shortstop some days, he's pitched before and he wants to pitch, which shows a lot about Lane. I mean, he wants to produce for the team. He wants to, he wants to play. He's not just comfortable just sitting down on the bench. And I'm proud of him for at least trying. Going out there.
I mean, I love Lane.
Yeah, I mean, national champion. National champion in his heart, too, right? Instagram questions. All right, yeah, but I say we're going to sweep, and Parker Stinnet's going to be my player of the week. You say 2 out of 3.
And Lane Forsythe does something pitching. Okay. And that will be that's player of the week, standard.
I like it.
Not goes out there in 3 innings, no hits, no runs. It goes out there and it is a serviceable part of the bullpen.
Yeah. I like it.
And that would constitute player of the week. Because at this point, I mean, someone goes out there and does pretty okay. They're quickly the second best option out of the bullpen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Brandon Smith and then a big gap between anybody else.
I guess Pico.
Pico, yeah. You didn't mention him earlier, but yeah, Pico.
So what'd you say last week about him?
What's up?
About Pico?
He's the guy, yo.
Okay. I'm sorry, I had to bring that one up again for everyone.
Yeah. All of our avid listeners that remember that. All right, so here I've got some Instagram questions. I'm going to read them out. We don't have too many this week, but thank you to all those who did send them in. Again, anytime you have questions, please send them to us at Going
You
for
can just
Two.
DM us.
Yeah, just DM us. Comment on an old picture of us. That'd be kind of weird. We'd see it. It'd be kind of weird.
Who is this?
Why are you commenting on our picture? Also, speaking of that, someone did comment on one of our pictures one time, not too long ago, asking a question, so I'll bring that up.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that, which is kind of why I brought it up.
Oh, is that the one that said, let's ask questions below? And then no one asked questions below?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You did answer it, but I will ask it on here.
Okay.
So it'll get some attention. All right, so first question that was asked just from our question prompt on our story, Brooks Taylor said, where do we go from here with Stone gone too? So Stone was definitely our best closing option out of the bullpen, I'm pretty sure. But we've got guys, Mikey Tepper, who has proved to have a little bit of potential there. He's the only guy with a save on the team right now. I'm pretty sure. Pico has a save as well.
Love Pico.
Yeah. So Pico has a save. Mikey Tepper has a save. And I think that's your answer. I mean, the 2 guys with saves are going to be your 2 options for closers. Pico, this is the one I have a little bit more trust in, but again, he hasn't really pitched against many good teams.
Texas
pitched
Tech.
against Texas Tech. But he didn't get a save in that one.
Yeah.
So, I think that's going to be our option there. Next question is going to be from Football Freddy, and it says, not baseball, but thoughts on tonight's NIT game. We lost. Luke Meyer says, is Lane Forsythe our new Friday starter? No. These hockey guys think they know anything about baseball.
You still got that clown costume?
Yeah, Luke, put on the clown costume. I mean the Mississippi State hockey jersey. No, Lane pitching was really weird, but just like Hunter said, like finding some role for him out of the bullpen would be pretty interesting, and we kind of like
need it.
Kind of solidify like what our help solidify what our everyday shortstop would look like, because he wouldn't be there because we'd expect him to come out of the bullpen. I guess he could go from shortstop to the mound, but that's kind of weird with a pitching coach that likes to save arms. Like, probably not what we're gonna do. Like
after a long outing of playing defense for Cade Smith, he's thrown out 5 guys at first. His arm is shot.
Yeah. All right, so the next 3 are going to come from Frederick. So it says, does Fristow get moved to the bullpen permanently? At least to the bullpen. Maybe just...
Southern Miss?
You think he's going to transfer?
I mean, I think that we are both like almost like the biggest Fristow fans that anyone could have been over the past year.
Yeah, I think Fristow looks cool. I think he has...
His dad follows me on Twitter.
Random. Yeah. I mean, just seeing from what he did last year as a freshman, he has the potential to
loved
be a really
his
good
stuff
pitcher.
too. Like, and we were like kind of fast, like on starting to love Fristow.
Yeah, like, I mean, like just from his look, I was like, heck yeah, this guy's awesome. And then he throws a no hitter, and I'm like, okay, this dude's awesome.
Like, this is the next guy.
Yeah, and things just haven't worked out. I mean, he walks a lot of guys, just lack of control sometimes, and then when he does throw strikes, he just gets hit pretty hard. So it's a pretty bad combination. But yeah, if he can find a spot out of the bullpen, I would love that. But if he can't find a spot here, I'd love him to transfer and find that spot somewhere else.
I do this a lot with players that I see that just like haven't figured it out at Mississippi State or like any SEC place. I'm like, they should just go to Southern Miss.
Yeah, and that's in football,
everything,
baseball, everything. Yeah,
like I'm just like they would probably ball out there.
Mm-hmm. And then
I was like, JRP,
go to Southern Miss.
Go to Southern Miss. Like literally, like go be an All-American.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, Southern Miss in baseball is especially a great option. Football is.
Why didn't he go there?
I don't know. I mean, it's almost like
football. The baseball would have been like way better.
I mean, it's his hometown.
Yeah, and like the football's like, I mean, you don't have to play for Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to like act like you won a national championship a few years ago. I mean, it's not a bad option.
You don't have to act like you made space.
Yeah,
remember that? Did we talk about that on the podcast?
About how they got mad at us for using a Flying M logo?
Mm-hmm. I think we had a podcast of that.
I think we did mention it.
Space Jersey U.
Yeah.
That's what
they were saying that we couldn't use that logo because we're not a space school.
Our logo came out before their school.
Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Like,
that's the thing.
Facts.
But here we are, not having a national championship, and here they are having one.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see an Ole Miss fan say that UCF's national championship is illegitimate. I'm going to start setting that trap on Twitter.
Yeah. All right. So Frederick also says, what's the starting 9 going to look like through the first SEC weekend? This one, not totally sure because left field seems to be that like a revolving door position. Second base, I'm pretty sure RJ Yeager's going to be there at least to start the weekend. I mean, he did enough in the midweek to prove that. Left field, I mean, you're going to see probably a few guys. They could be Von Siebert.
I wish that we would put Hunter Hines out there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why.
If Von Siebert can do it.
Yeah, honestly. Doubt we're going to see Jess Davis much, just at least start the weekend just because he had the mistake in the midweek, which that's just kind of how things go when there's a revolving door position. Like, you make a mistake, you get replaced. Mm-hmm. And hopefully you find a spot later. I mean, goodness, we could see Braylon Skinner come in. We really don't know.
I mean, It's kind of weird to say that the guy with this. I think Brad still has third highest batting average. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, well, I guess for qualifying, stat pages are weird.
Yeah.
But it's weird kind of saying that like Brad, like our leading home run guy, right? He has 4. Hunter Hines is insane.
Kellen Clark has 5.
That is
in the last 2
nuts.
Weeks. Yeah.
But it's kind of weird that I want Brad out of the lineup, but I don't know.
Can't get him out of the lineup.
I'd like to see someone else give him that spot. I mean,
yeah, I don't really necessarily like him in center field. He hasn't really screwed up too much yet.
He made like 2 really good plays.
Yeah. Also, Cam James went to left field randomly, and it didn't work out. He threw a guy out at second one time, and then completely missed on a fly ball.
Maybe?
Yeah, he dropped a fly ball, so that experiment is over, hopefully. But yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it until it didn't work. But yeah, left field could be any number of guys. Hopefully we do have second base and shortstop kind of solidify with Tanner Leggett being at short. And then the last question here, again from Frederick, it says, do we have enough arms to get us through an SEC schedule? We've talked about that a little bit, and I think, obviously, we have what we have. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to get through with what we have. But every other team is facing the same struggle we are. Like, I mean, they may not be struggling, but it's like we all have the same number of pitchers, and we're all coming off of a year.
It's all coming off of last year.
Yeah, it seems like we're struggling, but there's an explanation for it. It's just we have less spots on the team. Mm-hmm. So it kind of sucks, but we have what we have, and like I said, we have a perfect lineup for winning games if we have to hit home runs to win.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can score a lot of runs and win these games. I'm banking on a sweep this weekend because that's what I said was going to happen. But we'll find out what we look like against SEC competition. It's not like we're facing a bottom feeder here. I mean, Georgia.
It's not like we're facing a really good team either, like the Northern Kentucky Norse.
Mm-hmm. I'm just really hoping we've got this thing figured out this weekend. Last week I know we said we needed a 4-0 weekend or 4-0 week between the weekend series and the midweek to really give us some juice going into the midweek or going into the start of SEC play.
This is rough.
Yeah, but we did just that. So hopefully that can just really boost us into this SEC season.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
really excited about that. I think that's all we have for this episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for today's episode. We're looking forward to a great first weekend of SEC play in baseball as the Dawgs travel to face the Dawgs in Athens. We'll see you back next week, and hope you guys have a great weekend. See ya. You think they're really going to go to SeatGeek.com?
I don't know. If they use code TEW, get $20 off their first order.
What if their order is less than $20?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, that one time that I bought those $21 tickets and then used the code. I forgot whose code I used. But it was my first order, and then I sold those tickets that I got for 33 cents each for around $18 each using SeatGeek. I have an allegiance to SeatGeek since then. Mm-hmm. Just a good app. Some good people over there.
That's the best way to buy tickets for events like concerts and games and such.
SeatGeek. Code TEW.
We totally sold out to corporate America.
We're so good at ads.